Hello there, listeners. Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to quickly talk about Buzzsprout. So, over the years, myself and Jamie have worked incredibly hard and refined the Bullpen Podcast into the stylish cultural phenomenon that it is today. But none of this would have been possible without Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout as a platform allows us to upload our finished work and host it on major services such as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes and more. Simply put, without Buzzsprout, we would not have reached as many ears as we have. Once you sign up to Buzzsprout, you immediately get access to several hours worth of upload allowance a month, as well as an easy to navigate website and analytical data of every aspect of your podcast and all its listeners. If you sign up using our link in the podcast description, you'll find information on how to sign up and grab a $25 Amazon voucher courtesy of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest way to get your podcast off the ground. Join over 100,000 podcasters getting their voices heard and sign up using our link today. Hello and welcome to The Bullpen, a podcast about baseball.
Yes.
I'm one of the hosts, I'm David Dring. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, it's always good. I'm Mr. Jamie Ramage, and I'm the other co-host. And we have a repeat
guest tonight.
Yes.
I'm Thomas Boltby, as aforementioned second guest.
Yeah, repeat offender.
Repeat offender, absolutely.
So
2
good
weeks in
we
a row.
have to have him back.
Must have made a good impression
Yeah.
Well,
last week.
I do try.
Yeah.
I do try.
Or we're just sick of our voices and we needed somebody else to balance
Absolutely, yeah. It's a,
I think a third voice is always handy though
Yes.
when you do a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah. And it's good to not be the third wheel.
Well,
For a change.
well, yeah.
Yes.
That's a tag I've become accustomed to most of my life.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't call ourselves the third wheel.
When you spend most of your life single, you just tend to be that kind of character.
That guy.
Just in
That
any
man.
social
Absolutely.
exchange. So, chaps, episode 3. We made it. We're getting there, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're doing well.
absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Episode
3
3.
in a row.
Yeah.
3 in a row. Lots to talk about this week.
Makes a strike.
It's been an eventful week.
Very eventful week.
The world of baseball.
A very, what's the word, aggressive.
Yes. Fight week.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we've called it, yeah. Fight week.
MLB Fight Week.
Yes. The Royal Jumble.
So I guess that's a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there's been 2 noteworthy brawls.
Yes.
Now,
Involving a couple of our teams.
a couple of our teams, yeah. So one was the Yankees Red Sox from the other night.
Yes.
What did you make of that one?
I think that you need hard baseball, but there's a line, isn't there? And that's round the diamond usually, but that was crossed. But yeah, some of it was quite funny, quite amusing.
Really funny.
It was.
Really funny. Like almost as if it was like, I think you might have touched on this. Like, is it real?
Yeah.
Is it just
Are they just
staged?
trying to hype up the rivalry?
Yeah, you can kind of argue that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, well, we've watched this night, haven't we? The first, the players' names again. Tyler Austin.
Tyler
he
Austin
was
in the
involved.
Yankees, and I think it was it Justin Kelly, the pitcher?
It may have been, yeah. So the first part,
Sorry, Joe Kelly. I apologise, Joe Kelly.
Tyler Austin is, I don't know if he is the hitter or he's on first.
He's Yankees.
Yeah.
He was on first at the time of
he
the
was on
first
first.
incident, because that was sort of what instigated the whole
Yeah.
sort of melee.
So
prior
he
to that.
was running to first, wasn't he?
Was he running too
He
first?
was running from first to second.
Yeah, first, second.
And he was clearly going to be caught out, so he just left a trailing leg,
Yeah.
which there was no need to do.
No.
Because it looks quite. It doesn't look much. Sort of when you first watch it, but then other angles,
you slow it down.
like you say, he blatantly goes for that.
He does blatantly go for it, which
And it's a weird exchange after, because he then gets up and stares at the guy's just kicked
second
more or
baseman,
less,
yeah.
as if to say, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, "You've just slid into me for no reason."
Yeah.
And then Tyler Austin like squares up and goes for him. And then next minute, it's like everyone in the stands decides they want to come and join him.
Yeah, that's sort of what starts it all off.
And then a 4,000 man brawl.
All it's missing is Benny Hill music, and then you've got
Absolutely.
really funny exchange.
Or Titanic music, as we found out.
When we found out Titanic music at the back of everything.
Will make it 100 times better.
It's way more dramatic than it should be. But that wasn't all, was it? There was another one
Yeah.
in that game. Tyler Austin again involved.
At the plate this time.
At the plate. You mentioned, is it...
Joe Kelly
Joe
of the
Kelly?
the Red Sox hit him sort of like below the shoulder blade, and all of a sudden you just see Tyler Austin just throw his bat on the floor.
We reckon it was intentional, the pitch.
As revenge.
We seem to think it was deliberate. And then all of a sudden, I've never seen so many people run towards the same spot at once.
No.
It was literally the Royal Jumble.
Yes.
But it's almost like, I can understand to a degree Tyler Austin's let the ball hit him.
Yeah.
But that ball's travelling.
I think it's a 90-plus ball, I believe.
Oh yeah,
So
that's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt regardless
So
of where.
to prove a
whereabouts
point,
it
I can
is.
see why.
Yes, it will leave a bruise.
It
That's
will.
about it.
But then it's
Absolutely.
like being out in a club somewhere and someone's sort of up close to you, and you've let them hit you to then go and hit them back, like to prove a point that he started it. It's a weird. But then
It is a weird one.
Tyler Austin started it in the first place, so it's like,
he was the instigator
Yes.
that sort of led to all
maybe
that.
just had one of those days.
It's that playground attitude.
How much is it?
Two wrongs don't make a right, David.
They don't.
But like you say, was it one of the actions where I'm just gonna leave my foot in just to try and hype it up a little bit, to try and hype more, put
Try and
more
get under the skin.
put more fuel to the fire, so to speak.
And like say, local rivalry as well.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
playing for the cameras, maybe
Exactly.
playing for the crowds.
Yeah.
So I mean, out of 10, what would you give that brawl? Or overall the two brawls? What would we say? Unless you want to separate them.
No, it's 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah, 5 tops.
It was a nothing. No punches landed.
No, it was a.
No.
Someone fell over. That was.
Well,
exciting.
there was. You saw someone with blood on their lip from whether that was from falling over or not. You don't know.
I don't think he was a player for either team. It was just,
He was just a guy.
just a guy they found.
Yeah, just a random.
Just look
Random
injured.
physio who just happened to be there.
Yeah, it's like that bloke that goes to sporting events and dresses up in the full kit, and then goes and tries and gets into the photo.
Or the half
Yeah.
kit.
Yeah,
That actually happened. Was it the Champions League final? I think someone actually got in the Manchester United photo
and stood next to Gary Neville.
and was actually in the team photo.
Isn't that?
Before everyone sort of like.
I'm sure there's a guy that does that.
I don't know this guy.
Is it not Lee Sharp? Lee something?
I don't know.
Nelson sounds.
Lee Nelson sounds very
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah.
I think it was the same guy that tried to go out to bat for England.
He's done Wimbledon,
Yeah.
I know for a fact. He's done the Man U team photo.
I think he
at
was
least once.
at the Oval.
Yeah.
trying to look as if he was an England cricketer.
Didn't
And he
he?
looked too convincing. That's what Rumble did.
Is this the same guy? I think Sepp Blatter was doing a press conference.
He was
And
the guy
he
who
just pops in and
threw
throws money
fake
at him.
at him. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Lee, what a hero! I mean, it's on the surface, it's
something.
annoying and childish, but he's not hurt anyone. It's just a laugh,
it is.
isn't it?
Purely banter.
He's just here's the Man U team photo, and here I am.
Yeah.
Just here I am appearing.
And then the second brawl of
So,
the week involved your team.
Overall, not impressed. Well, not impressed with the first brawl. This brawl,
It's probably even worse.
I found it
Comedy
hilarious. Honestly, I've never seen anything as
Yeah,
funny
if
as
you
this.
rate it on hilarity, it's probably a
9 or a 10.
9 or a 10. Easy.
So yeah, other night the Padres and Rockies. So Luis Perdomo, the pitcher, throws a suspecting. Look, it's like he's aiming, like we say, aiming for the back, aiming for
Absolutely.
the player.
Or just letting him know that.
Yeah,
You know,
because you can always measure it by the catcher where he's going to,
absolutely.
and so the catcher's sort of centre-ish, and Perdomo goes for.
Goes
I think he's a
to the left of the
left-handed,
catcher.
So
to the left of the catcher. Yeah.
So he's hit him. Well, he missed him.
He missed him completely, but it was a sort of throw to say, I can hit you if I want to.
Yeah.
Sort
And
of
so
thing.
Arenado was the hitter in question. He's having none of it, is
he
he?
lost it.
He
didn't
just saw red.
He lost it.
And the next few seconds are just you couldn't write comments
Like you say, Benny Hill music on that particular, probably 5-6 seconds of play would have been
So
fantastic.
I think Perdomo, he knows he's done wrong,
Yes.
and Arenado's, I'd say he's probably a little bit taller than Perdomo, a little bit broader. He's charging towards him, and he's like, "Shit, I've got to do something here.
Just
Throw the glove.
Just have this."
It's the only thing I've got. My secret super weapon, and this is what I'm going to throw. And then he misses.
He misses.
He's a pitcher.
How-
He throws it over.
How ironic!
Yeah.
one of our pitchers.
That's club one.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so. I mean, yeah, like you say, hilarity-wise,
It was.
9 out of 10 at least.
Absolutely.
Although there was a punch thrown,
There was a punch
And
thrown.
missed.
very close. Very close.
Yeah,
to
it
Perdomo.
was. Was it Arenado
Yeah.
on to Perdomo?
Yeah, and he was very close.
He was very, very close to landing.
So I mean, we maybe have bigged it up too much, calling it Fight Week, Brawl Week, whatever. But it's
Royal
fun.
fumble.
Absolutely.
yeah, Royal Fumble.
There was also 6-game bans handed out for both Joe Kelly and Tyler Austin for the Red Sox and Yankees respectively, but both have appealed the bans.
6-game bans.
6-game bans, so they are eligible to play in the next game.
Well, I wonder, because that seems very, very tame. I mean, we go back to football. You throw a punch in
You
football.
throw a punch, you are. I mean, look at Eric Cantona when he leapt into the stands at Crystal Palace. I think he was banned for 9 months.
Well,
Yeah,
think
I
of
think it was for the tackle on Gareth Southgate that got him in the ban.
go back to Paolo Di Canio pushing the referee.
Oh God, yeah.
He was out.
Was that a 10-game ban?
10 game
10-game ban or something like that. And it was just a little sort of mediocre.
Yeah.
Just
Pushed
a
it
shove,
over.
and the referee does nothing more but stumble back 3 or 4 yards and then just fell down in absolute
I think
stages.
we mentioned it about the guy who got banned last week for taking the steroids.
But yeah,
8-game ban.
half his season gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, for that kind of offence, seems quite tame. And when you think the sheer amount of games that they play, 6 games isn't anything.
It's a week.
It's a week.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, like you say. Like you said, you never get 2 days off in the sport. Which is true. So 6 days, like you say, is a
you
week.
just start a fight just to get a few days off.
And
Yeah,
as
exactly.
a coach, you obviously resting your players as well.
Yeah.
He's just going
Yeah,
to be
rotation's key.
I'll just rest these two then.
Yeah.
Especially for a pitcher. Just think you're going to be off for that amount of time anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know what to think about that. I mean, is it too much? Is it not enough? I mean, we'll put that to the listeners, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we can do a poll as well.
Where does instigating a brawl start, or lay with how is the punishment fitting the crime?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
It's a tough
FTE.
one.
Yeah,
It
we'll
is a
put
tough
that out
one.
there. Right, moving on swiftly.
Moving on. Sorry to put in. Can I just
sure.
just happy birthday to Hunter Pence. Happy birthday.
Hunter Pence. Who is he?
San Francisco Giants.
Oh right.
Who is Hunter
I've
Pence?
just for the listener. I've just had
No
the
relation
death,
to
I've just
Mike
had the
Pence.
death stare.
No relation to Mike Pence.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
As I said
Yeah.
in the last podcast.
Oh,
happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
yeah.
Shout out to Hunter Pence.
How old is
Listening.
Hunter Pence? Do we know?
That is something I did not research. Just happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
However old you are, have a good one.
And I guess following up, if you can find out, is he starting tonight?
I will find out.
Is he going to get a birthday treat against the Padres?
Yes.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly, yes.
Based on last night's performance, probably yes.
Let's get that out of the way, shall we?
Shall we?
Last night's performance was not a surprise. Disappointing, but not surprising, is how I describe it.
Yeah.
The game in question, obviously, Padres-Giants, obviously was a close game.
Very
tight game.
narrow 7-0 win.
Let's not focus on semantics here.
Score
shall
doesn't
we?
matter.
Yeah, you
Score
got 10
doesn't
hits,
matter.
we got 1 hit. It doesn't matter.
No.
None of it matters.
No,
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
exactly.
There's plenty of games left in that series for us to... We've let you win one.
You're only
That's it.
We've let you win one.
You know.
Because we don't want to whitewash anyone.
No, of course not. It's
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
in-
rude and disrespectful.
It is rude.
You're only 6 games back on the Diamondbacks in your conference.
4-10 currently. Padres. We're 6-6, so we're not exactly. You know.
Well, I was going to mention that. I think I mentioned this to you, didn't I? There was one league in particular where there's one, I think the team that's ahead, it might be the Pittsburgh League, actually, not what I'm thinking of, but
You've got Pittsburgh on 9-3, Milwaukee 7-6.
yeah, the rest in that league are just sort of
Cubs
hovering.
6-6,
doing
and
nothing.
St. Louis 6-7. Then down at the bottom, you've got Cincinnati on 2-10. So, yeah, it's one of them leagues, really.
And the Mets are 10-1, and when the others are like
That's-
7-5, 6-5,
Yeah,
6-7.
that's something I was going to bring up.
Well, I guess we can talk about the Mets. I think that was one of my points, actually. Just their start to the season.
They've joined the 10-win club
Yeah.
already, along with 2 others.
Best start in
Best
the
record
franchise history.
Franchise history, that's it, yeah.
So, 10-1.
You've got who else have you got?
They're on
Not
eight
Boston-
win streak at the moment.
Boston are 10-2. and
Boston are having a really good
Yes,
run of games.
they-
They lost,
Lost on
was it
Thursday,
last night?
wasn't it?
Thursday? Against the
Thursday.
Yankees?
Yeah.
It's a tough one to call because
Yeah.
I was very excited about that series actually because
Yes.
you look at Yankees form, it's not great,
No.
but they're still a massive team.
Yes.
And you think of, like, let's go back onto Newcastle for instance.
Yep.
We've lost 6-0 against Sunderland, but you look at maybe one or two of those seasons where we were massively, like a few places ahead in the league.
Yep.
On paper, subjectively, the better team. But when it comes to Derby Day, when it comes to playing your rivals,
You kind of throw that out of the
They
window.
find something.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, Norwich haven't lost to Ipswich in ages, so
okay.
so that's bound to happen next year when they've got a new manager.
Well, yeah. Mick McCarthy's just walked.
Mick
hasn't he?
McCarthy walked out in an interview.
That was a hilarious one.
That was
didn't
pretty funny.
he? Wasn't it? One of his players.
I think he was substituted.
He got subbed off
He
and,
got subbed off
and
because
threw a wobbly, didn't he?
and the fans were just apparently according to Mick they were behaving really
Yeah.
disrespectful, so he in the press conference after the game he just says, "I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Casual as you
I think
like.
the question was, what do you make of so-and-so's behaviour when he got subbed off? And Mick was like, I couldn't care less, it's my last game.
Absolutely.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Such the professional Irishman.
Yeah.
He was born in Barnsley.
So
Yeah, the Mets are
a cracking start.
in the 10 win club along with Boston and the LA Angels.
It did actually remind me, though, I'd thought of this and I thought, let's try and compare this to like other sports, like a cracking start to the season. I know last season Man City won their first 10 games.
Yep.
And then sort of faltered.
Yes.
So and again, that's 38 games versus 162 games.
Yes.
Yeah,
Are we reading too much into it? Is it a false dawn, maybe?
Well, you never know, do you?
No.
I think the fact that the Red Sox just seem to just have that bit about them that says
the edge.
We're behind in this game, but we're not out of it.
Yeah.
And we're going to fight back.
Right us off at your peril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And they've managed to get out of some tight squeezes against to what I guess is quite a lot of fans say is quite disrespectful in the fact that the teams that they're playing aren't considered to be as good as like the other teams, like your Yankees and stuff. The sort of the also rans, but I think in any professional sport you can't really take for granted any opposition.
Well, it's the old saying, isn't it? You can only beat
You
who's
can
in front of you.
exactly.
And so
And anybody on the day can beat anybody. We saw that.
And like you say,
See that in
if
every
you
sport.
if you can comfortably beat like the quotation lesser teams in the league, then all you've really got to compare to is maybe like I say, let's say for instance the Yankees would be your rival for like division champions, which they would be. I would say
Naturally, I guess start of the season they'll be the two teams that get mentioned.
so. If you can beat the teams around you, then all you're really going against is your head-to-head against your rival.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like I say, if you can beat the lesser teams, more than a chance.
So,
But yeah, hope, for your sake, hope they do push on.
Yes.
Hope it's not just a
false storm.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a Twilight?
Twilight, the fifth movie, False Dawn. Kristen Stewart looks like she's about to do some seriously good acting and
and then all throw out the window.
lets everyone down. If you're listening, Kristen, I didn't mean that. If you want to be a guest, talk about Twilight, you can join Reese Witherspoon, who is as good as committed to it, I would say.
Absolutely.
I would say.
And I think Ben Affleck is as well. I mean, we're pro Red Sox here, so he's more than welcome.
He is definitely more than welcome. He wants to come on and talk about anything he chooses.
If he wants to come here, have a beer.
Yeah,
more than
a beer,
welcome to
I
taste
think
it.
one guest we do need to get on is Matt Damon.
Yes.
Absolutely, Matt Damon. I actually think he would be a really cool guy to hang around
He
with.
would be, yeah.
I think he's written off as the boring guy. I think mainly because Team America's
I think
made
you
that
get
way.
a couple of cans down him, I think he will.
I just think,
He'll be the uncle that nobody
he'd
likes
love
at the party.
Yeah, there's something about him. I think
He would love a night in Mansfield.
he would absolutely love it. Show him all the hot spots.
Yes, the two pubs.
Take him to Witherspoons.
Yeah, Do you know what? Off on a tangent. Explaining the concept of Wetherspoons to an American. So, for instance, you say we've got this bar and it's a chain, and you can go in with £10. So let's take the equivalent $20.
$20, yeah.
And you can buy, let's say, 5 drinks with that. You can have. Let's say £20, $40. That's a good night.
That's a good night.
You can get on your
In
way quite
Wetherspoons,
easily.
you can be on your way with that.
Or on the flip side, you can go in and have a meal and a drink for like half that. Like the concept of that is just alien. Like,
and I guess to us, the fact that they do free refills on coffee as well.
They do.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
So if you're cold and you've got hours to wait for your next bus, you can just go in there and have.
And the Wi-Fi is always handy.
Bouncing off the walls on coffee.
Yes.
I mean, as a fellow man that's crossed the old pond there.
Across the pond, the
you
proverbial
know
pond.
the extent of bar cost and drink costs.
Across the ponds as well. I've been to the Isle of Wight.
Yes, you have.
Yes.
How do those prices compare there to America?
Having not been there for at least 20 years, I can't tell you. They're probably still the same, because one of the things that's mentioned about the Isle of Wight is how it's kind of stuck in the 1950s. So, yeah, I guess there's...
Seems like a nice place, though.
Yeah.
I have been there
pleasant.
once.
Yeah.
When I was very, very young, but it was pretty nice.
Seems like it's nice. Like it's one of those you could hire a bike out and just
Yeah.
have a little jaunt around the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could throw a baseball from one end to the other.
I mean, speak for yourself. I could throw one from the other end to
Jamie
this
showing
room.
off his superior strength.
He's got that really massive arm he's got.
Yes.
So how have your teams done since the last podcast?
Oh, well, let's
start with Mr. Drings.
do we have to?
Go on then.
The San Diego Padres.
San Diego Padres. Well, this is the thing. They're inconsistent. So
Consistent.
at best.
Inconsistent.
very inconsistent. So they lost their first 4 games, for the first 5, I think, actually. So me as a fan thinking, here we go again. They and then they show signs of steadying the ship, so they can win. They win the odd game. Like for instance, we beat the Astros, the reigning world champs. We can beat the Rockies. I think we can beat the Giants. I think we're capable of it.
Yep.
Like we say, we can beat. I think any team can beat anyone. I think you touched on that last week.
Yep.
But this is the thing. The games we've lost, I would say 2 or 3 were very preventable. We watched the opening game where the bases loaded in the 9th, should have won that game. Or I think it was the 10th, actually. Should have won that game.
Yeah.
Went on to lose. There was a similar instance against the Astros. Lost in the 10th or 11th innings. Should have won that game. So it's just... It's the choke, it's the throwing it away that annoys me more than... The games that we're getting battered in, I couldn't give a shit about. Because, we've been beaten by a very, very good team. But it's the games where we should have won.
It's a case of snatching defeat from the jaws of
Yeah.
victory.
And I think if it carries on, that's the difference between winning, say, 80 games and winning 50 games. It's just that bracket of games where we should have gone on to win.
Yes.
But yeah, 4 and 10. It's not great.
No.
Bottom of the division. But
Quite a way
To be
back as
fair,
well.
quite a quite tough division, though.
it is.
To be honest,
It is.
When you look at some of the teams in there,
It is.
Dodgers,
Dodgers, Giants,
Diamondbacks,
Diamondbacks
are-
having a bit of a
currently-
roll. Rockies, they beat us a couple of times, so yeah. But as D. Ream has said,
things
Yeah.
can only get better.
the only way is up.
That's the other guy, isn't it? The science guy.
Bill Nye.
That's the one, yeah. Him on bass.
Brian Cox.
That's the one.
He was
Mr.
it a pianist? Was it a
Yeah,
pianist?
he is a penis.
Level 42?
Pianist.
Level 42 rings a bell.
I don't think it's them.
Mark. That's Mark E. Smith, isn't it? No, that's like Mark E. Smith.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm making any sense now.
And you're supposed to be the one that actually knows stuff about it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the staple
Music's
of
bad
the
these
podcast.
days, so...
Music is bad these days.
Yeah, did you want to do a quick plug for the guys that you write for?
I mean, we'll do that after.
After.
We'll go through... so we'll move on to my immediate right, seeing as we're staying in this division. The Giants,
San
how are they
Francisco
doing?
Giants. Well, since the last podcast, we are 3-3, 6-6 overall. So let's say, consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
One player that I'd like to touch on is Andrew McCutcheon.
Yes. Coming in Kutch.
Coming in Kutch. That's one way to put it. With 2 walk-off hits in those 6 games. And I showed you a video before we came on air of the walk-off hit against the Dodgers, which, to Titanic music, you cannot
So funny.
be anything better than that. So yeah, I think we were 1-2 against the Dodgers. I think we were 1-1 against the Diamondbacks, and I think we obviously won last night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a case of getting a bit of form together for us at the minute. We play you tonight, so
That should be an easy
is-
win.
Well, I'd like to think it would be an easy win, but like we've already touched on, anybody at any time can go to any stadium and beat any team, regardless of form, regardless of win-loss.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've just got it up here, the home and away form. So the Padres have 1-7 at home. Giants are 3-4. So both teams losing more than they win at home.
Yep.
So away form's kind of carrying
Yeah.
sort of both teams really, which is quite an odd concept.
It is, yeah. It is.
3-3 away.
But I mean, I found that the 2 baseball games I've been to doesn't seem to be a limit on tickets. So, I mean, the last game I went to, we played the Cubs at Petco Park, and there were more Cubs fans in the stadium. So, does home advantage count in instances? I don't know.
I think it will play a more psychological role for the players, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
But you
So.
obviously know you're at home.
Well, they were saying that. I mean, San Fran and San Diego, same state, so it's not a million miles away.
No, it's not.
There were quite a lot of Cubs fans at the White Sox game the other night because their game got cancelled, and
Both teams are Chicago.
Yeah.
and they were both due to play at home, and one got cancelled because of the snow. The other one managed to. The White Sox managed to get all the snow off, and they played their game.
So it was full of Cubs fans.
Yeah, we just wanted a game of baseball, I guess.
Shout out to the White Sox for making that happen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I think the Cubs game should have been on British TV, and then they had to switch to that one. So that's how I know.
Strange, isn't it? Same city, but
Yeah.
one game abandoned, one game managed to go ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, good on them.
Over to you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Over to me. Oh wow. What can I say? The Red Sox are on fire at the moment.
They are.
I think David put out the other day that it's as if the Red Sox are playing with the cheats off, the cheats on.
Cheat code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all went down to the big series against the Yankees, which we've already touched upon.
Yep.
And to start that series off, the Red Sox won 14-1.
Yes.
You could say quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Excellent
It
game.
was
Excellent
a
game.
tight game.
I would have said that's a mark of intent
Yes.
to go to your rivals.
You're going to
and
put
just-
down a statement,
Yeah.
and then that's the one you do.
Yeah. Because Mookie Betts was on fire there. His average for the game was 4.32.
He's having a good season.
Not a
though.
bad outing for good old Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
The one, the only.
Yes. So yeah, that's really good.
So I mean, the Yankees
They
pulled it back in the next game.
Pulled it back in the next
Was it
game.
10-7? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I've
it
just been
was.
too busy this week to.
Close game. Well, too busy.
Too busy. Yeah. With other projects, but and then we went and then beat them again yesterday.
2-1 over the series.
2-1 over the series. So
With one game tonight, I believe.
Yeah.
so one tonight. Excellent. So.
I imagine, 4-game series.
Yeah.
And then we've got I think we've got the Orioles up next. So again, same division. I guess that's another kind of rivalry. What with them being just a bit further down the coast.
Yeah.
Well, a lot further down the coast.
It's a big old coast.
It is a very big
Baltimore,
coast. Yeah. So an Oriole was like a little orange bird. I think we found out. It's like a
Guess who else researched this? It's a
finch or
type of blackbird.
type of blackbird. Excellent.
So, yep.
But it's orange or yellow. Or
Yeah,
something.
and then, like the team colours.
Yes.
So, yeah, that did stump us for a while, didn't
It
it?
did, yeah. I thought it was kind of like a type of biscuit or something.
I wonder how they actually became to be known as the Orioles. Like, why would you call your team after a type of blackbird? Was there some sort of superstition, or
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's one thing we'll have to
I've
research.
actually wondered that in general, you know.
It's
like,
one thing we'll have to research.
yeah, how do teams pick their nickname?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like all the states have their own different names as well, don't they? So
Yeah.
and they have like different animals. So.
Because that's the Californian flag's got the bear on it, hasn't it?
Okay.
I believe so.
And
Yeah.
the Lone Star is Texas.
Texas. That's
Yeah,
one
maybe.
thing we'll have
Yeah.
to do a bit of research on.
Look into that. So yeah, well, quickly the plug now, since you've politely inclined. So www.beardedgentlemanmusic, or beardedgentmusic, I think it is, .com, is a website about music. Hey,
Yes.
what do you know?
Who'd have thought it?
So, myself included, and the other writers we kind of focus on not necessarily what's big in music or what's the biggest releases, or sort of churning out like album after album of here's what you should listen to this week. It's kind of our own favourite kind of stuff. So it's an article written with enthusiasm and that kind of things. But there's also other things on there, sort of like little features. One of my favourite articles recently was someone wrote one from the perspective of Elton John's wig.
Okay.
So a day in the life of Elton John's wig. What does he get up to? Yeah, go check it out. The guy runs it.
Hey, John.
Hey there.
It's probably Clive.
Clive Tilsley. So John and Isaac, they sort of founded the website from scratch, both from Salt Lake, and they're just the nicest guys. Like when I applied to be a writer, they with open arms just said, yeah, cool, welcome aboard, more the merrier.
That's good.
Or because of that talk by that Emmerdale lady.
Yeah. Kate's.
Yes. That one.
Oh, what was her name? Kate
yeah.
Oates, wasn't it?
I think that's the name.
Yeah. So John and Isaac, very nice guys. John did message me actually, and said he is a Royals fan. So I'd just like to get that out there. We'll probably do a feature at some point, talking more about that. And
Kansas City Royals, shout out to them.
So just a plug to BGM for being a cracking music website, and go check them out. So next on the agenda, fellas, if anyone's got anything to talk about, I've got a couple of bits, but
Just a quick shout out to the Minnesota Twins' Joe Mauer, who hit his 2,000th hit against the White Sox.
nice.
It's
2,000.
always a good milestone to hit. 2,000. Yeah, I think he is. What position is Joe Mauer? Is he a? That's something I should have really.
I'd imagine 2,000. He's got to be some kind of slugger, hasn't he? Or no, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I'll have a look.
He is a baseball player.
He is.
He is a
Well
baseball
done.
player.
That's why we have the podcast.
Yes.
And you don't.
That's the window outside of the penthouse suite.
Oh yeah, top floor.
Yeah.
Top floor of the high-rise building I currently live in.
Yeah, it's all luxury. I can see the jacuzzi from
All my money is tied up in assets that I can't currently access. So you just showed me a little cue card there. Do you want to?
Yes.
Oh, that's your point. Do you want to talk about that?
Okay, so one thing that has been kind of mooted for next season is some MLB games over in London at the London Stadium where the Olympics were held in 2012.
Home of West Ham.
Yes.
Yep.
So the idea is kind of to get a couple of games over here. It's kind of been suggested that it might be the Red Sox and the Yankees for
That'd be pretty good game
for,
to have.
for a 2-game series. So yeah, that'd be quite interesting.
Because I asked you, didn't I? I just thought it would be because the NFL do it, don't they? Where they bring a game over.
Yeah.
It's always. I just assumed it would be a pre-season game, like a friendly. But you seem to think, or it's
a regular season.
Yeah, it's a regular season.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
kind
series.
of June-ish time, I think, that was suggested.
So not long after the season starts.
Because obviously there's the added complication of West Ham not vacating the building until
Didn't think of that.
That's
yeah.
true.
May.
Yeah, that's true.
So it can't be before then. So there's that short window, sort of May to July, really, isn't there? So
That would be pretty cool. And when was that? Sorry, when was that planned for?
for next year, and it's quite advanced in talks, but it's yet to be kind of ratified and signed off.
That would be pretty cool.
It would
That
be.
would be pretty cool.
And I'd like to think, sort of long term, having a little baseball podcast, we can always apply for press tickets and
Yes. And,
certain privileges.
so there you go. There's
Absolutely.
a reason to stay on.
Yeah, reason to be our friends.
Well, at least like us. Yeah. Acknowledge us.
When you see us in the street, just nod.
Just nod and just appreciate.
Yeah.
Or like if our trolleys pass in obviously in Aldi.
Quick brofist on the way.
Just a quick not
Aldi.
only in the first aisle, the second aisle. Just ignore each other.
Yeah.
Just by the frozen chicken.
By the what Aldi do these days? Do Aldi do that little? Is it Aldi that do the lobster sort of knockoff? I think Iceland might have a similar thing.
it's
It's not
Iceland,
knockoff.
yeah,
It's quality produce, David. Quality produce.
Or a
Don't call it
fiver.
nod, you. Don't
Yeah.
call it not knockoff.
It is
I know
actually.
we don't do lobster.
No,
So
it
it
might
must
be
be
Iceland
Iceland.
then.
Must be
No.
Iceland.
No, I mean I've got all. I mean for alcohol especially, Aldi is just a gold mine.
I mean,
Phenomenal.
shout out to the Alska cider that I'm currently drinking, the Nordic Berries variety.
Yeah, it does look tasty.
Very,
like
very tasty.
a sort of Recorder
Recorder-esque
Yeah,
with a lot less of the price, I must say.
Just remember, obviously with baseball and football grounds, the old Derby ground was named the baseball ground.
It was.
was it really?
The baseball
Yes.
ground years ago, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but before
correct.
they had any.
Before it got changed to Pride Park, I believe.
Yes,
it
before
was,
they had
it was
any
the baseball
Pride,
ground.
yeah.
What was the reason for that then?
Was it sponsorship or something?
No, I think.
Was a game played there, or once upon a time?
I'd
or-
imagine so. Should we
You can
Google
always Google it.
or ask?
Yep. And while Jamie's doing that, today, as you know, is Friday the 13th.
Ah, is it? Oh,
So-
shit.
Which teams have the best record and the worst record on Friday the 13th?
Oh, is this a little feature you've got?
Just a little feature.
Alright, so I'll guess. We don't.
All time on Friday the 13th, games played.
I'll
So the
say.
best and the worst.
I would probably say offhand, Braves have the best record, and Dodgers have the worst.
Cleveland for the best and the Mariners for the worst.
You're both wrong. So the team with the best record on Friday the 13th games are the Colorado Rockies,
Okay.
who are 12-1 on Friday the 13th. So
That's a good.
I'd like to think tonight they would do the business and get to 13 wins on Friday the
13.
13th.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Things
team
get
with
freaky on a Friday.
absolutely get freaky on a Friday, and the team with the worst record on Friday the 13th are the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 1-12.
Oof. So if they
If
lose,
they lose, they are 1-13. So they really don't.
Wow.
They do not want to be playing tonight.
No, which would be 13 on the 13th.
and again for the wins as well for who was it again? Sorry, the Rockies.
The Colorado Rockies,
So yeah, 13 wins, possibly 13 defeats, possibly.
possibly, yeah. So yeah, just little.
It's
feature
the
thrown in
gift
there.
that keeps on giving. Baseball.
Yes.
That's
I love how there's all these stats as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
what, that is a random stat, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so the baseball ground. It
Ah,
was
yes.
first used for baseball as the home of Derby County Baseball Club from 1890 to 1898, and then the football team moved in 1895.
And what happened to the baseball team?
I guess they kind
Sort
of
of dissolve or something.
yeah.
So that's very racist. I didn't expect there to be any interest.
No.
Like,
Perhaps for one of the future podcasts, we could kind of go to the site of the baseball ground and have a look at where baseball was played in this country.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like a housing estate or something now, but
Yeah, with
Yeah.
high-rise flats on it or something.
Mm.
yes. So
There's
maybe
always that
you
risk.
could move your penthouse there.
well, yeah. When because I'm a mover and shaker in the stocks and shares, as you know, so
Yes.
just waiting for the
The right time.
right time.
Everybody knows that Derby's a city on the rise.
And everyone also knows that 8 figures is better than 7. And, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to skimp, so
No.
I'll wait.
Yeah, especially
Bide your time.
Yeah.
especially after you made all your money in college.
Oh dear. So that was a nice little feature. That nice little interesting factoid. I'll give you one. I'm going to turn my laptop away from your.
I'm not a cheater. I won't look.
So I've got two little games. So I do one now, one in a bit. I'm going to read out. So I had a look at like AA teams.
Okay.
So their nicknames.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'll read out a nickname.
Okay.
You tell me what city they're based in.
Okay.
Very simple one.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the Isotopes.
Springfield.
I knew you'd say that, but it's not Springfield.
The Isotopes. North Carolina?
Albuquerque. So
Albuquerque,
you're not a million miles
Albuquerque
away.
Isotopes.
Yeah. The Chihuahuas.
Charles.
Oh, God.
I've seen that.
Yes, the Padres. Yeah, so
Little ankle biters themselves.
the little bastards, little rats.
I can't think.
Is he some sort of
Chihuahuas.
New Mexico team?
Yes, it's the El Paso Chihuahuas. Nice easy one for you. I think they're called the 51s.
51s.
Now think about it.
Hawaii?
No,
Right,
think
close.
about it.
51. The Hawaii. No?
Las Vegas.
Hawaii.
Las Vegas.
Area 51.
Oh, okay.
Nevada.
Yeah,
Yeah, Las
yeah.
Vegas 50.
We're going
Las
on
Vegas
states.
51.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cities. The River Cats.
River Cats. Colorado.
Nope.
No. Chihuahuas.
I can't think.
Mississippi.
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
And last but not least, the Baby Cakes.
Is that a real team? Or
It's
is
honest to God, real team.
That's your real life nickname.
The Baby Cake.
Yeah.
that the baby
I'm
king?
the Baby Cake of this podcast.
A baby cake.
Can you imagine someone going up to you and say, "Oh, who do you play for?" I play for the Baby Cakes. Really?
Puffs out his
Proud.
chest.
Yeah.
Any guesses, please? Any? Well, I'd be surprised if you get it.
Lincoln.
No.
Washington State.
It's New Orleans.
New Orleans Baby Cakes.
Yep.
Okay.
A real team.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy where we live in.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right then. Do you, Ramage, want to do Call in the Gang? Have you got something for us?
Not a great deal this week. He did pitch 5 innings the other day in a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And he was he's just awesome, isn't he? Because he's a pirate.
He's a cool guy.
He's
a very cool guy.
So for some reason, my stats are deserting me. It's probably because I'm trying to look at the batting stats.
That might be an issue.
Yes. So yeah, it's really cool when you when you pick a pitcher, because obviously they don't really do much when they're not playing.
That's true.
But yeah, so yeah, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs in a 7-4 loss. So he wasn't really the guy that kind of cost him. But
Not at his best.
no, 7 strikeouts as well.
Well, in that one game.
In 5 innings, and he still finished on the losing side. So
And he is actually playing tonight.
he's playing tonight.
So he could be really uncool on Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
He's actually playing against the Marlins, so
Well, there's always a chance, isn't
there's
there?
always a chance after.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Marlins have got something to prove after the other day, haven't they?
Oh, dear
Well,
me.
yeah, the Marlins starting pitcher tonight is currently 1-1 with a 9.35 ERA. So I think you're probably guaranteed runs.
He's in the
against
wrong
that guy.
business, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's like Stevie Wonder being a driving instructor. You don't want it, do you?
You know, you just no.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to drive anyway, so it doesn't.
You definitely wouldn't with Stevie Wonder. You safer out that car than him.
But if the Pirates do win tonight, they go on to 10-3, so they would join the 10-win club as well.
As for the Marlins, I mean, you touched on this the other night. They had a bit of a stinker, didn't they?
Just a bit,
Like
yeah. Philadelphia
Was it
hosted them. Yeah.
only 20 they conceded?
It was somewhere along the
20 to
was,
1.
It was in that ballpark.
It was. Round of applause.
I think it was it 20 runs after 5 innings?
It was something, yeah.
Something
like that.
ridiculous.
And they were winning. They top of the first innings. They got a run on the board.
One of that,
They must have been thinking, because their record this season's awful.
Yeah.
So they must have thought turning point.
Yes.
And then from the bottom of the first to around about the fourth or fifth innings, I think that it was just
They've now given up 74 runs this season.
Is that the league's most?
like 14 games or something.
The Cincinnati Reds have conceded 78.
They're bottom of their division as well, aren't
They
they?
are, yeah. Rangers 77. Yeah, so they're right down there.
It's not good, is it? When if you're playing 14, let's say 14 games they play, that's 5 a game at least.
You know, you're going to have some really, really good batting averages to get anywhere close to winning them games.
Their World
You can see
Series
5
happening
runs a
there.
game.
Yeah, it's, well, the Marlins. I've got a story about the Marlins actually. Nice, you might have caught it in the news. The other night, they were outdrawn, so more fans turned up to their AA team than to the Marlins. On, I think it was Wednesday. Very quickly, again, AA team for you. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp is their team name.
Excellent.
It's one for you there. So
Quiz question there, right?
yeah, more fans went to see the AA team than the AAA team, which I think. So Wednesday night, Jacksonville were watched by 6,950 at 60. Sorry, Marlins drew 6,150 in a ground that holds maybe 30,000 people.
So that's like a top end League One average, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not far off that.
it goes on for the 3-game series against New York, the Marlins, who lost, and I'll reel them off: Stanton, Christian Yelich, D. Gordon, and Marcell Ozuna, as part of a rebuilding plan. Rebuilding for what? I don't know. More space from the dressing room, I imagine. So 3 games, they drew a total of 19,669 fans. When you imagine that, even that wouldn't fill their stadium. Compared to, so through 9 home games, they've averaged 12,000 fans. Opening day, they got 34,000. Last season, I mean, that's half of last season. They got 24 on average last season, 24,000. So
And you can't blame it on the weather.
you can't. There's something not right with that team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably the pitching,
yeah, it could be.
judging by the amount of runs they've conceded.
I mean, they're not filling the stadium. They're losing for fun.
All-purpose stadium as well.
So something not right with that team.
Is it a bit like county cricket, where more people kind of listen to it on the radio, on the internet, than actually turn up?
Is that true?
Well, for the 4-day stuff, when there's just those that are kind of retired and got a bit of money, they can afford the day off.
I guess, yeah. How much is an average sort of, if you want to go for like a day, for a 4-day test or something?
This is the level below test match, which test match can get ridiculous. It's like at least £100 for Lords and stuff.
Yeah.
But for a county game, you're not paying more than £20 for a whole day. So it's six hours worth of cricket.
It's not too bad when you think about it.
No, it's
It's
pretty good.
just the schedule is pretty much like baseball, and it's just relentless and every day.
When you consider football is like £35 for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's 2 completely different forms of sport, but it's a sport nonetheless. And like you say, £20 for a full day of cricket, 6 hours of cricket is pretty good.
I did actually see somewhere, I wasn't searching for it either, it was a stat on, I can't remember the team, but it was a pricing of their season ticket, or whatever their equivalent name for it is. So you imagine you're watching 80 games, and I think the ticket price was around $300.
Okay.
So an average ticket, I think I paid, $20-something, and then $30-something for the next game. So let's say 10 games, you've made your money back instantly.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculously cheap cost for like 80 games for $300.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield did kind of an early kind of season ticket price. That was £200.
Yes, they
for
did.
the season.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And that was before they got promoted. So
I think my boss, he booked his he booked a season ticket for his son. I think he's, I want to say 18, 19. That was 350. And that doesn't include cup games.
No.
So 19 games for... I think he said it saves him something like £3 per game.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers.
I think we mentioned the other East Midlands Championship side, Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
Not out of any real interest.
No.
Their season tickets seem to be kind of reasonably priced. I think they've got grades of like, if you're a kid, it's like really cheap.
Yeah.
And then they go up. So I
And also
guess,
probably based on where you sat as well, I guess.
The stand where you start, yeah.
so I guess it's fair play to them on that.
Mm.
So,
Got to get the crowds in somewhere.
yeah.
Exactly. It's a case of keeping them there.
Well,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Just lock them in.
none of us are Forest fans, so
No.
no sort of bias there. I mean,
No.
they just seem to be one of these teams that just sort of hovering in the Championship.
Yeah.
Neither there or here or there.
No chance of being, like I said, no chance of being relegated and no chance of going up. So.
No, they're just a strange, just there to fill the numbers, aren't they? I guess.
Yeah.
Say that about a few Championship teams, really.
Yeah, I mean, we
Like
touched on
Leeds.
Ipswich. They seem to be
Leeds.
Leeds
Leeds are an absolute.
Yeah.
Ipswich have been in that division forever.
a long time.
The
Was it 2001?
It's crazy. Of the teams that have been in that division, they've been in it the longest.
Easily.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's 2001.
I mean, we got out of there by getting relegated to League One, and then getting promoted back up. And then up. So
Well, Forest did that, didn't they? Leeds have done that.
and Southampton.
Southampton have done that.
When you look
yeah.
at where Leeds were probably about 15 years ago in the
It
semi-finals.
would be, yeah.
In the
Champions League.
semi-final of the Champions League against Valencia, who had the cream of the crop, basically, of Spanish football at that time. And look where they are now. It just goes to show what can happen to a team in.
Well, it's a team that overspent on wages on players but plan to always have European football.
Yeah,
I think was it David O'Leary.
David O'Leary, that's the one.
And
Yeah.
he bought all these. I mean,
Harry Kewell, Alan Smith, Mark
Ferdinand,
Viduka, Ian Hart,
just a quality, just a front to
Nigel
back
Martin,
quality,
I think.
and they had to sell all the players
Exactly.
just to keep the team afloat. And in the end, it didn't make much difference. They went down.
Yeah. And they've just been there since. They've been a staple of that division for a good few years now.
Part of me wants them to go back up. I think I want to see them in the Premiership again.
Having a Leeds in the Premier League would
As a
be...
complete neutral.
Although watching their fans moan is quite fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they expect success that hasn't really been there for, like, say, 15 years.
Yeah.
Or the 70s.
Yeah. Don Revie and gang.
Yes.
That's enough football talk, I guess, for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Back to baseball.
back to baseball. Have you seen Shohei Ohtani's recent record for the LA Angels?
I have. He's some calling a two-way phenom at the moment.
Yes, I think we've got the same article up here,
Well,
actually.
yeah, his stats are
So, I mean,
incredible at the moment.
At the moment. So, I mean, he's, for sort of context, he is a bit of an all-rounder.
You could put that, yeah.
He can hit, and boy can he hit. I think he proved that with a home run or two in his first game.
Yeah.
And then he went into a game against, I'm not entirely sure who it is. What do we show here?
Yeah, an Onion article.
The Onion, yeah.
Yeah.
Headline, annoyed Shohei Ohtani had hoped US baseball players wouldn't be this bad.
Oh, wow.
He's just an absolute prodigy this season.
He is.
Because he's kind of come out of nowhere, isn't he? He's a young lad.
It's his debut season.
Debut season, yeah.
Debut season, so currently 2-0.
Yeah.
23 years
His
old.
pitching stats are just phenomenal. I think he had a game against Oakland. He conceded one run in an otherwise perfect game.
Yeah.
12 strikeouts, 7 scoreless innings. Just a phenomenal. And his batting's just incredible. He just
Put it into perspective, his pitching stats at the moment, he's a 2-0 record with the Angels, a 2.08 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, and a whip of 0.46.
I mean,
So you say what you want about the guy. He's doing it on both sides.
if you look at taking a league by storm, I mean, that's just the poster boy of it. He's doing
Absolutely,
things that his slugging percentage is 7.69, best in the MLB. I mean, how old is he? 20, maybe?
23.
23. So
so-
he's got a good 10, 12 years left of him, possibly even more, depending on.
And when you think how it's not really kind of after the Second World War that somebody's really kind of gone in and done both to quite
Babe
such
Ruth
a-
is the ultimate sort of go-to,
Yeah.
isn't it? But
yeah.
Do you know Otani's nickname?
I don't.
His nickname is Showtime.
Showtime, I like it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he is proving it as well.
he's proven to be big time as well. His hitting stats is hitting a .364. That's 9 for 26, with 11 RBIs in 6 starts
Incredible.
as a designated hitter.
Incredible. I mean,
yeah.
he's sort of touched on. I mean, he was asked in an interview why did he beat the Angels, and he sort of touched on one man himself, Mike
The
Trout,
one, the only.
yeah, being the reason.
The legend, the myth.
Which does segue
Lead you on
very
to
comfortably into a section we've coined Trout and About.
Yes, we just need a jingle for it now.
We do well. I'll put something against
We'll
it.
bash something out.
Yeah, and then I'll do the jingle.
Yes.
Yeah, the man's just. I mean, if you know who Mike Trout is, you know how good he is.
Yes.
Um,
And just what a great guy he is.
just an all round terrific guy. Again for the early Angels. So him and sort of Otani really. Well, Otani more than Trout. Trout sort of had a quiet-ish, by his standards, start to the season.
Yep.
Just handing out autographs and bats.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's played 14 runs, 15 hits, 5 home runs. So I mean, it sounds like it's not that. I mean, anyone would kill for that record at 14
Absolutely.
games.
Yeah.
It's just compared to his standards. It's just not. He can do better. And so Angels hoping he can do better because I mean, you imagine that strike force of Otani, and Trout.
Yes.
The 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
like you say, you've got a slugger who is a proven slugger.
And then Mike Trout.
And and then if you look at sort of Otani's pitching to get you through games,
Yep.
you kind of got the bases covered.
He can to some degree put you on the back foot just by himself.
Yeah.
He comes in and pitches like 5-6 innings.
Yeah, and then innings change over. Trout comes in a couple of times, and
You know, it can be gone
it's sort of
in
the
a short
old
space of time.
Shearer and Cole partnership. That
Shearer and Sutton, the
Shearer and
SAS.
Sutton, yeah. So Angels, I mean, I have no doubts that they'll do well this season.
They are 11-3 at the moment.
Yeah.
The best win record at the moment, 11-3.
So, I mean, if
Like you say, it's
they're on the way up, that's what
Yeah.
I can say about that team. No two ways about it. Any other stories we want? Oh, I actually got one here. Very quickly. This more of an interesting one, really, because I've not really thought about it much until I saw the headline. So the headline is it's basically about the major player associations in MLB, the NFLPA, NBPA, NHLPA, or I guess not MLB, just all sports, so MLBPA.
Yeah.
So ice hockey, baseball, football, and
baseball,
the other one.
Basketball.
That one, basketball.
basketball.
So I think this is a Supreme Court ruling on the New Jersey sports betting case that basically wants to change how betting's seen in US sports. And they've come together and said, no, we don't want betting in any sports. It's kind of based on a couple of years ago, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie attempted to pass a law allowing sports betting in the state. But the law, it kind of goes against the 1992 Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, which makes it unlawful for a state to, in quotation marks, sponsor, operate, advertise, promote, license, or authorise by law sports wagering. So it's kind of a problem that's not really gone away, and sort of one body to another have tried to bring it in. So I mean, again, we can go back on football as a crutch.
Yeah.
It seems like a common thing now. Like teams
is,
are being
yeah.
sponsored by betting apps and gambling websites.
Well, a couple of days ago, the Newcastle United, the under-18s team, I believe, were fined £7,500 for having Fun 88 on their shirt,
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
which I think the law is you're not allowed any team under 18 and under to have betting companies on their shirts.
I guess where the it comes into it with America is the fact that the 1919 White Sox were just so easily kind of able to just throw a World Series for a bit of money. Yeah.
Okay.
And as a cricket fan, we'll go on this again. It is an area that has kind of dogged cricket as well because just and I guess in like a lot of American sports, it's just the amount of stats, the amount of individual plays that you can have where you can kind of bet on it. It's like is the run going to be scored off the next ball?
Well, the one notably I think was it Mohammad Asif and the Pakistan bowlers.
Yes,
they were all banned
bowling deliberate no balls.
Banned for a number of years.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's just kind of been rumblings in the background.
Like you say, it's never gone away, has it? It's always going to be there.
People have been jailed for it.
Yep.
So
I know in football that there are restrictions on players betting on not only their own teams but any sort of any form of. I don't know if it stretches to outside. Well, obviously outside of their division, or if it's just a complete blanket ban.
Is it Joey Barton?
Joey Barton has proven time and time again.
One name that sticks out.
But
you look at that though, and the law is you can't have the shirt sponsors promoting gambling, but you watch football on the TV, every advert is Bet365. You see Ray Winston popping up every time.
Sports,
and it's like, where do you draw the line at that?
Even on the BT Sport baseball as well, their ads are pretty much to all.
Because I guess that's another alien concept, is that we can watch an American sport and bet on it. An American fan can't.
No.
Because there is, I mean, I've seen on Sky betting that there is MLB betting and NFL betting and things like that. So we have the option to. I mean, if it happens or if it doesn't happen, would it be a good thing? I mean, it's easy to say that it can be managed because we've seen it managed in football, but is MLB ready for betting?
I guess the fact that it's not really a factor, is it? But the fact that they get paid such a top dollar would mean that would be kind of less an incentive to kind of to fix things from that point of view. But I guess it's up to each individual country.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it. I think there was a footnote where, so again, the passing the law was fought again by those governing bodies of the sports, and I think it's just going to carry on and carry on. And I think there was another. They're going to bring it back in to talk about later this year. I think September was mentioned. Okay. So it's obviously something that someone wants to happen.
Yeah, it does. You'll always have people for and against. It's fine, you're never going to please everyone. Whatever rule you bring in.
I mean, even the ad on my Onion page here is for a gambling company for the Grand National tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I can't see it personally happening. I don't think.
No.
I say all four bodies are against it, and that's just New Jersey, for instance.
Yes. And then I guess you've got, I guess state law is pretty solid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But then I guess if you've got it on the national level as well, that may throw a spanner in the works.
It's a tough one, Maybe a loophole to be taken advantage of there.
Yeah, which people will always find.
Oh yeah, always. Can't wait to talk about this. The other night, two very interesting names to talk about. Bartolo Colon and Albert Pujols. Now, what are we talking about here, Tom? Do you want to enlighten us?
Bartolo Colon. or Bartolo Colon, if you want to call him
The
that.
only reason I picked this up.
I'll have to find out how old he actually is. I'm sure he's in his 40s. Picture for the... What am I being shown here?
Just possible next segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, was it not the Rangers? Is it the Rangers and...
I believe he's the Rangers and the Cardinals? Is it?
Possibly.
I don't. I'll have to find it.
Well, we did have a good chuckle at Pujols, didn't we, the other week?
Yes, we did. I know you're a fan.
Yes. Yeah, he's got one of them kind of outstanding records who kind of
Well, it was the video we watched. He was just called a legend.
Yeah. He's an Angels player.
Angels, yeah.
Yes.
So, and
he's
Bartolo is. I'm sure he's a Rangers
I think he is.
Rangers player. But yeah, they had a little play between them, didn't they? I think it was Cologne. Pujols
was batting.
was
batting against Cologne.
Cologne was pitching. So Pujols hit straight down the throat of Cologne.
And he got his glove to it.
And
Yeah.
which kind of bounced off of him.
Yeah,
Popped it in the air to the shortstop.
Yeah, just a crazy, and like it was weird to watch because like it got out, but he was laughing. Like they had a little, like little joke between them, didn't they? So they must be sort of mates out.
Well, they've been around for quite a long time, both of them.
Yeah, it's like when I saw, I just assumed it was like a testimonial game, like a little friendly, because they did not look like they'd fit into a pro team at all.
He's 44.
He is 44.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bartolo for still putting it.
Rangers.
I mean, you mentioned the fellow last week who was 43,
Yeah, Ichiro Suzuki.
in Cologne.
Just going back to Bartolo Colon, his nickname is Big Sexy.
I can see that.
Absolutely
handsome
fantastic.
man, handsome mountain of a man that he is.
Absolute beauty of a man.
Just all round fun guy. I think just watching that video, he just seems like always smiling. He's been playing the game
21 years.
he loves for 21 years.
Born in 1973.
I mean, what else has he got to prove?
Started in 1997.
And shout out, he's still getting a contract as well, pro contract.
Absolutely, yeah. And he also was banned for PEDs, I do believe, at some point in his career.
Okay.
Just try and get it up now.
He did seem like a little like he'd been in the old scandal headlines now and again. Wow.
This is from reputable source, they say. He was at the Montreal Expos for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's been around a bit. He was suspended in 2012 for 50 games after testing positive for synthetic testosterone, a performance-enhancing substance, in violation of MLB's Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program.
Wow.
He was the second MLB player to be suspended within a 2-week time frame for testosterone, the other one being the Giant star Melky Cabrera.
Mm.
So yeah, he's served his time cheating, some would say.
Yeah. I don't think you can call it anything else, can you?
No, there's only one reason you take performance
It's
enhancing
common knowledge.
testosterone.
It's common knowledge. I mean, we're not even athletes, and we know the things you can and can't take.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm assuming that the club's got professional doctors on hand to
Absolutely, yeah.
Minister
yeah
Lucky Charms.
and Twinkies.
Yes. We haven't mentioned food yet.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yes.
I was trying to do this. Yeah. So
I'm rather peckish.
So last week we had a very heated discussion on
Yes.
pizza joints.
Pizza joints.
Either of you see the result of the vote that's put out?
I think the Hut one comfortably.
Pizza
The hot one.
beat
yeah.
Papa John's
Yes.
very comfortably.
Yeah.
So we've kind of thought, let's do the same.
Shout out to all 8 people there.
I think it was more. I think it was double figures.
Yeah. Or 12.
12 sounds about right. So yeah, we'll stick with food.
What's on this week?
Now, this is your idea.
It was my idea, yes.
Okay.
It's the chicken battle. Chicken Royale.
Chicken Royale.
So,
Winner, chicken dinner.
well, absolutely.
Yes.
Which one is the winner, though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
KFC
Yes.
or Nando's?
Yes.
Oh,
Is
I
it?
don't like
Yeah.
it either.
You don't?
I don't like it. I mean, Nando's I always think is rather overpriced for what you get.
Yeah.
But I can never trust a company in terms of KFC who one day run out of chicken.
Run out of the one thing they
That
sell.
that is your staple. That is what you sell. You cannot run out of what you sell.
And it's not like their fries are any good either.
No, you can. They don't have like a backup plan.
No.
Like McDonald's, like you got a burger or you can have nuggets.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
have chicken fillets.
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken is
I
chicken.
think one day we'll have to go through the Indian menu of McDonald's, which sounds amazing, but I can't remember anything they sell. But it's a very good menu.
I can vouch for the KFC in Australia as well.
Yes.
Because I think it might be the day we landed. It was like, let's just get something easy.
Yes.
KFC's, you know, KFC inside out. I thought so. The chicken's the same, obviously, but they had a little. You buy a little tub, and it was mashed potato and gravy. And honest to God, it was the best thing I've ever had. It's so simple.
Potato or gravy.
Well, you're a southern boy, aren't you? So gravy's not your.
Not an option.
No, whereas I have gravy on everything, I say.
Northern boys.
Northern boys love gravy.
Gravy on ice cream.
So you're not a fan of either chicken joint. What would be your
if I
go-to?
had to pick out of the two,
Well, not necessarily out of those two. Just if you decided I want chicken,
I want chicken.
where would your
Southern fried
venture take
chicken.
you? Yeah.
Chicken.
It would have to be one of those. I'd probably pick KFC.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one of the two, it'd be KFC.
I'm sure the reason, because someone did tell me why they ran out, and it's because when they buy the chickens in, there's a name for it. It's to eat that day. They never keep any chickens to serve the following day.
Yep.
And so I think what happened, this particular batch that they were due to get, was something wrong with it, so they couldn't get it in, and they had no stockpile to get from because they don't save chicken. So that's, I mean, how long was it? It was like a month. Was it a month?
It was
It's
a
a
very,
good
very
while,
long
isn't it?
time.
Yeah.
I remember driving through Mansfield a couple of weeks ago, and outside KFC there was a big banner that just says "Chicken is back."
Brilliant from there.
As if to try and say, "Please come back."
Yeah, because it wasn't just chicken. They ran out of, what was it? They ran out of gravy. I think
They ran out of a lot of
beans
things.
or something.
I think it's because the gravy's kind of made on site.
I
with,
do like their beans.
chicken stock, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So that would be why there's no gravy.
I do like their beans. Their
The-
barbecue beans.
Always have the beans.
Pretty
Pretty
nice.
Me and a girlfriend went to KFC on Sunday, just gone, and we had a KFC then. It was the first I had, probably I think this year. And beans is always the
Beans
staple.
is the go-to.
There's no other side worth having. Who has coleslaw?
Coleslaw
No,
can just get in the bin.
Yeah,
as far as I'm
That
concerned.
is just. It's the worst thing that's ever come out of the Emerald Isle. And there's a lot of things that you could say that about.
Patrick Keelty,
One of them. Roy Keane. Being
Roy Keane.
If you're listening, Roy, I didn't mean that.
No,
that
don't
at
come
all.
around my house and two-foot me
No,
next week.
no, absolutely not.
Roy's a good man.
He is. So,
It was Ipswich manager though, so that goes against him.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
He's a top man.
Yeah.
Just don't get him angry.
no.
Mick McCarthy never came out of Ireland because he's a Yorkshireman.
Bradford, is he?
Barnsley.
Barnsley, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. People's Republic of South Yorkshire.
People's Republic of Barnsley. So are you a KFC or a Nando's man? Knowledge?
I guess, yeah. I mean, who can't beat a bit of chicken? So KFC is probably a good shout. But I guess it depends if you want to push the boat out, make it look as if you're quite fancy, and then you can go and have your finest Portuguese chicken.
I probably still wouldn't go to Nando's.
A cheeky Nando's.
Yes.
Why are Nando's so cheeky?
I have no idea. I know I read an article sometime last year where an American publication had picked up on the phrase and they found it hilarious.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what cheeky means. So they're like,
They don't understand the concept of cheeky girls.
They don't. They think cheeky is bad. They think, oh, you're calling me cheeky now. So Nando's is bad. Why do people love it so much?
I saw a thing on the internet the other day. Apparently, some American tourists went to Turkey and they were just shoveling all these like chips and fries into a piece of bread.
That was this week.
That was this week.
Yeah.
I would call it a roll because that's what when you go into the shop and you look at the packaging, it says roll on. So it's nothing else. So it's a chip roll.
Well, Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, this is a hotly debated
Hotly
topic.
contested
It
topic.
is, it is the highest debated topic in this
I would
country.
say,
It's a bread cake.
is it scone or scone?
Scone.
Scone.
And then chip blank. What is it? Chip butty, chip cob, chip
Well,
roll.
on another way you can look at that is, what do you ask for when you go in Greg's? Do you say a sausage roll? You don't say as a...
I know in Scotland they call it a rolling sausage.
Yeah.
Well, Scotland just discount. Just discount Scotland.
And in parts of Yorkshire, it's a tea cake.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
barn cake is more of a
In
Manchester.
So imagine if you go from your nice little home in the west of Yorkshire, and you go down somewhere south, and you can could I have a bacon tea cake, please?
Yeah, it's
And
not.
people would
Doesn't sound
just
very
look at-
appetising.
Just look at it.
A tea cake to me has got currants in it
Yeah.
and smothered in butter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not roasted tea cake.
What's the word?
Toasted.
Toasted,
Yeah,
that's the one.
Or roast it.
Rhyming accidentally.
Brilliant.
In the northeast, it's called a stotty.
Oh, yeah. So
They are very, very nice.
a crazy topic.
I must admit, they are delicious.
Yep.
Stotties. Fantastic.
So you're going for KFC.
KFC. Yeah.
I think you mentioned it. Nando's is expensive.
It is for what you get. It's
You pay, I think you pay for the sauce, don't you?
Yeah.
What if you don't have
Kind
sauce?
of
What are you paying for?
It depends on the quality of the company, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to seem impressive, you got a bit of money. And
I guess. I mean, I've only ever been, I think, twice,
Yeah.
and I just found it just a horrendous experience.
3 times the Nando's, yeah.
You just-
Yeah,
It's
a
not
couple of times.
The chicken is just
mediocre at best.
Yeah,
It's
I think, and that you could say that about KFC. I think what
You
makes
can.
it is the
experience.
deep fried. Yeah, it's,
But the thing is with KFC, you know what you're going to get when you go to KFC.
exactly.
You know it's going to be cheap. It's not going to be the best.
But it's so tasty.
It's so
It's
tasty.
always what you want.
It
With
is.
Nando, I don't. I mean, I'm probably wrong here, but Nando's, I don't think would be many people's first choice.
No.
If someone said, "Let's go for chicken,"
Yeah.
they're like, "Well, let's go for a Nando's." It's not somewhere you can just go. It's because the chicken's expensive, the drinks are expensive.
That's what gets you.
Yeah, so you can buy a bottle of beer for like £3.
Or you could just go to Greg's and get loads of chicken bakes for the same
Chicken
price.
bakes are the one.
Yeah. You could have 20.
Imagine if Greg's did Southern Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
They make a killing.
I tell you, it kind of does little nuggets of strips. It's Asda.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do a nice warm piece of chicken.
Okay.
And that's relatively reasonably priced. Yeah,
So we're sort of saying KFC on as a
I
group.
think we're a full house on KFC.
But we'll put that out to a vote as always.
yeah.
See what
Public vote.
the lovely people.
Yes. And then you could have Greg's or Coke Flint's.
Is that worthy of a vote?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Greg, if you're listening, we're fans.
Absolutely sponsor
Yeah.
us.
We mentioned it last week.
Yeah, and this week.
I think your chicken
This
bakes are
week-
absolutely divine.
Yes.
In fact, let's just have a weekly Greg's
Belgian-
appreciation.
Yeah,
bit.
Belgian
absolutely.
buns as well.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm thinking about Greg's now. Actually,
Yeah.
it's making me.
Making me rather.
Why isn't there one right around here?
Rather hungry.
There's 3 at Mansfield as well.
Yeah, but not
Not
open
even
at this
open.
time of the night.
No, I have a little feature for you all. My second feature of the day. It's a simple game. I'll read out a name of a a sports player.
Okay.
You have to tell me if it's a real name of an MLB player or not.
Baseball player. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a nice easy one for you. Tim Spoonie Barger.
You're just making things up now.
Real or fake?
Tim
Fake.
Spoonie Barger. I would have to go fake on that.
That's a real player.
No way.
Real
Who does he
player.
play for?
I didn't jot down. I mean, I think these are all names of players of the bygone era.
Yes.
He was, and you can Google him. Real player.
Is the next one Dick Pole?
That's too obvious. Too obvious.
He's a real player.
I know he is. I know he is. Tunji Banjo.
Oh, it's got to be real. You can't make that.
I'm guessing fake.
Fake. He is a Nigerian or was a Nigerian footballer.
Tunji Banjo. Shout out to Tunji Banjo.
Harry Daft.
He sounds like he could just be like
Sounds like a real player.
a footballer or something.
He was a footballer. He played for England 5 times.
We wonder why we are where we are now.
Players like that, of that calibre. Booth Bonser.
That's got to be fake.
Real.
He's real, yeah. Real baseball player, yeah.
I think I'm like 1-4 at the minute. I can't remember very well.
2-2.
I'm following the Padres suit at the minute.
Yeah, you are. Shooty Babbitt.
Shooty Babbitt. Real.
Fake.
Real.
Oh, man.
Nice easy one for you. Steve Death.
Just fake.
Real.
He's a ex-Reading goalkeeper. He holds their all-time record of most clean sheets
Nice.
You ain't
in
going
the
past
70s. Yeah, Steve Death.
Steve Death.
Still alive as well, I think.
Steve Death.
Steve Death. Chief Bender.
Real.
Fake.
Real.
Oh, no way. Who calls their kid Chief Bender?
Johnny Mustache.
Fake.
True.
That's a fake.
I'm rubbish at stuff like this.
Footballer for the Seychelles.
Okay.
And last but not least, Cannonball Titcombe.
He is real.
He's real.
No way.
He's real. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd imagine when they kind of... is he an American dude?
I don't know how the stats,
But I'd imagine... It,
Gotta be Mexican, sure.
yeah.
Cannonball, his first name is.
Cannonball.
Cannonball Titcombe.
Yeah. That'd be Titcombe, wouldn't it? The
Nope.
pronunciation.
Absolutely not.
His mother didn't like
I won't have it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mother
because
didn't
to be
like it
fair,
at all.
why would you need a comb for your nipples?
True.
Oh, yeah.
We can ask that to the lady viewers, lady listeners rather.
Comb for the breasts. Is that a thing?
Or unless it's for the little birds. Because they need,
You want to comb the aureole.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that is all the things spoken about on my list.
Okay.
You two, anything to add?
I think we can leave that one for next week. It's the old Chief Wahoo, is it?
Mm.
Yeah, I think we can.
Chief
leave that.
Wahoo.
Yeah, we can leave that for next week because I think that's a bit more of a bigger topic.
It is a big topic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a very good topic as well.
Yeah.
And that's everything, I think, folks.
Does that round it up?
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
Did.
Should we give out a quick plug to our Twitters?
Let's plug the bits and pieces. So I'm at Stringy Pie.
And I'm at Famous Strauss.
And I'm at T Boltby.
We also have a Twitter account now, don't we?
Yeah, after last week's debacle.
Yeah, I was confused, dazed and confused.
Yes.
Bullpen Pod at
Yes.
Bullpen Pod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Go follow us. All sorts of things on there.
Yeah.
You sort of do the old. You'll retweet interesting things.
Yeah.
There's votes to get involved in.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes stuff now and again on there.
Yeah. Please for celebrity guests.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I've tweeted this before, but if you tweet Bullpen Pod or email, there's an email address on there somewhere.
Yeah.
Any questions, any queries, anything you want to say, we'll read them out.
Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're not very good.
Tell us we suck.
Yeah.
Tell us we're not enthusiastic
Live
enough.
access to the Twitter feed now, so we can see.
Tell us that we're overrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not even rated. We're not even rated. That's Spotify. I need to get on that at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other service providers.
Yep.
Yep.
We're also on buzzsprout.com. The first 2 episodes and this one will be on there.
Yes.
I think you can download them actually. I think there is a download
Okay,
feature.
so for your daily commute.
Yeah, take it on the go. We're adding every week, aren't we? New episode every week.
Every week or near enough, as possibly special episodes as well for important games.
Bonus episodes.
We could do that, yeah. We could sort of live pod a game or something. couldn't we?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good shout.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all
Okay.
from us.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you next
Thanks
time.
for having me.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.